Hey everybody, and welcome back to the JTN Network. So, in this video, this is the first 50-51 protest that I attended with my media network here. And this is everything that was recorded from this protest. This was back on May 3rd, 2025. This was the May Day protest, and this was a protest that happened all over the planet, involving what the Trump administration is doing with migrants, the LGBTQIA plus community, as well as women's rights, just all the downfall of everything that is going on. Now, this was cut short at this protest because of the weather, because it started to rain outside, and the equipment was getting soaking wet, so I had to shut it down. But this is going to be a very lengthy video. Obviously, skip to whatever parts of it that you want to watch. And there are several speakers in there. And there will be other videos from different protests that will be coming up throughout the rest of the year, going into the next year, so on and so forth. So please enjoy this video. And there are some very powerful messages that were given during the speeches. And also, please make sure you subscribe to this channel and hit the like button and leave some comments while you're watching through. Thank you.
The police killing incited outrage. A protest was scheduled for the following evening, May 4th, at Haymarket Square. The market was where I-90 and the area east near Desplain Street is right now, between Lake and without evidence if given the chance, just as the Chicago police did all those years ago. We are here to stand up against an unjust and broken system, to advocate for ourselves and demand that humans be treated with compassion, just like the striking workers did 139 years ago. As August Spice said on May 3rd, 1886, we need to hold together to stand by our unions or we will not succeed. We are stronger together. The fight will be long, just as the fight for the 8-hour workday was, but in the darkness ahead, I do believe that we will endure the night, and in the dawn's light, we will find our flag to still be there, waving. And now, I'd like to introduce our usher, Albert, to officially kick this protest off with our national anthem. Please remove your hats and feel free to sing along.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free, and the home of the
Hi, Gwen. Nice to meet you.
Give it up for Albert Capati.
Nice to meet you.
Okay, next up we have Maribel Cruz Hines, a local activist, poet, and organizer. reading the poem The Pledge of Resistance by Saul Williams.
Nice to meet you.
Yeah, that's a good combo.
Down at the Y. Carol, I'm holding you to that.
Yeah.
Downtown. Oh, yeah, right. There they have the gymnastics like gym there. They don't have one out west. Right.
All right.
Yeah, I built a new one. It's really nice
Well,
in there.
I'd like to say
There every week.
a little bit of how I came
One thing or
about this
another.
poem.
Chair, or do you like
I was never this outspoken until the genocide in Palestine began to take place. I was comfortable with my privileged life, and now I carry this pit in my heart, forever broken. Not knowing how I will carry on, I began to discover my voice, and I began thinking about our kids. 18 years from now, when they ask what we did when the genocides in Palestine, Congo, and Sudan were taking place, I will tell him, we organized, we assembled, because there are more things that unite us than separates us. Colonization has taken so much from us. It has taken our indigenous identities. It has taken and made us even more comfortable with white supremacist standards. When people say there is a crisis in our budget, there is none. There is a crisis in our morals. There is a crisis in our values. There is a crisis in humanity's empathy. We need to tax the rich. We need a new pledge, a pledge of resistance. So when I say, not in our name, you guys will say, not in our name. When I say, not by my hands, you guys will say, not by our hands. When I say, not by our mouths, you guys will say, not by our mouths. And when I say, not by our hearts, you guys will say, not by our heart. Because this should be everyone's pledge. So here I go. We believe that as people living in the United States, it is our responsibility to resist the injustices done by our government in our name. Not in our name will you wage endless war. There can be no more deaths, no more transfusions of blood for oil. Not in our name. Would you invade countries, bomb civilians, kill more children, letting history take its course for the grace of the nameless? Not in our name. Not in our name. Will you erode the very freedoms you have claimed to fight for? Not by our hands. Not by our hands. Will we supply weapons and funding for the annihilation of families on foreign soil? Not by our mouths. Not by our mouths. Not by our mouths will we let fear silence us. Not by our hearts. Not by our hearts. Not by our hearts will we allow whole peoples or countries to be deemed evil. Not by our will and not by our name. We pledge resistance. We pledge alliance to those who have come under attack for voicing opposition to the war, genocide, or for their religion, ethnicity, or for who they love. We pledge the common cause with the people of the world to bring about justice, freedom, and liberation. Another world is possible, and we pledge to make this real. I even want to join you guys. I say, we are the people, we are united. Stop bombing Gaza now, now, now. We are the people, we are united. Stop bombing Gaza now, now, now. We are the people, we are united. Stop bombing Gaza now, now, now. Thank you.
Thank you, Maribel. I did want to make a note. Everybody, I'm sure you all know about what happened in Chatham this week. Remember that there is the Chatham Strong link tree. That's Linktree, linktr.ee/Chatham Strong. If you'd like to donate, there's lots of different things that you can do to help the Chatham community during this time. And next we have our invocation. There we go. Okay, so we have Reverend Dan Fricci with the Roman Catholic Women Priest will offer his thoughts on democracy. Give it up.
Be nice if they could come over here.
Join your hearts together. O divine love, source, ground of our being, we the people, we your people, stand here yet again in solidarity, manifesting a beautiful and hope-filled oneness. And yet we hold deep lament, laying before you our anguish, and for the degradations being suffered, particularly by those who are most weary, heavy laden, and beaten down. Give us the courage to face that which is contrary to humanity's dignity. Embolden us to forge a better path, one where we cease from seeing one another as the enemy, one where the gifts of all are honored, cherished, and celebrated, one where hope resurfaces within us, a re-cherishing of the gift that is our democracy. My friends, we are strong. We are here. And we the people make the most sense when we speak as one, even as unity does not require uniformity. Maybe some of you are asking, why do we come out here? Does any of this really matter? It does! And let me tell you why. Far too long, we've ridden the proverbial coattails of others who have done the hard work of shouldering our precious democracy. The bold revolutionaries of 1776 who affirmed those three words, we the people. They birthed democracy. This guy behind me, Abraham Lincoln, who in March of 1865 gave his second inaugural address, facing a bitterly divided nation. He appealed to the higher culture, causing us to
Diversity in it.
just how willing we were to step into the furnace of our sacred texts, such as the Bible. With a brutal honesty, he led us over the bridge of democracy to see if it could hold us. There was a brash and bold journalist in Chicago named Ida B. Wells, who in May of 1892 saw the lynching trees rising up on these shores. But hey, it wasn't just a southern thing. There were 56 such trees in this land of Lincoln. She held up the inconvenient mirror to help us see and honestly reckon with the question of whether or not humanity could continue to uphold and merit this democracy. We remember those soldiers who on that stormy morning of June 6, 1944, as they jumped from the shielding landing craft into the black waters on the coast of Normandy, France, and then facing the assault of bullets shredding their young bodies. They sacrificed their lives for democracy. And then on a hot New York City sidewalk in July of 2014, a man named Eric Garner forced out the words, "I can't breathe." A scared, angry, and confused man pressed the wind out of him. He pricked the conscience of democracy. These the people spoke the words. They shouldered democracy's heavy weight for we the here, we the now, we who wish to breathe together. Now that's a word I want to reclaim, and it's called conspire. In the Latin it's called conspiratio, which means those who breathe together. Here and now, let us be a kind of new brand of co-conspirators by breathing together, taking up our breath, and speaking in unison as one. And so what does that look like? One of my heroes and guides is a guy named Richard Rohr, a priest, author, and psychologist, whose community is guided by several core principles, and this one is the favorite. The best criticism of the bad is the practice of the better, because oppositional energy only generates more of the same. Yeah, we still have to acknowledge the bad around us, call it out and shine a light upon it. Then, we need to exercise our own political muscle and begin to search for the better, long for it, articulate it, act upon it, the better. So if this movement of rallies where we gather around the country is going to continue and be of some effect, I implore everybody to sit down in the next 24 hours and think out, write out what is the better. Words, phrases, growing sentiments that are going to fuel your own and then our collective breathing for the better. Together, co-conspirators who joined the revolutionaries, Abraham Lincoln, Ida B. Wells, the D-Day soldiers, and Eric Garner. We the people, we the breathers of the better. Thank you.
Thank you, Reverend. Do you want to mention some mutual aid opportunities that we have? If you want to donate some goods to Intricate Minds up at 619 North Grand Avenue, they're open for donations Monday through Thursday, noon to 9 p.m. They're in need of lots of different items, food, hygiene materials, all that kind of stuff. And we also have a bunch of different micro pantries in Springfield if anybody wants to try to fill those up as well. We have information about this in our Facebook event for this event, and we should have some handouts about them over at one of the tables as well. But our next speaker then is Carrie Goebel-Miller. And so she's a local activist, artist, and healthcare worker with a message of hope.
Good afternoon, friends. Blessed to be here today. Tomorrow's May 4th. It's the day President Lincoln was interred into the smaller vault behind his actual tomb, where he laid in rest until his tomb was ready. You can go stand there today, 6 feet from where he was first laid to rest. It's also Star Wars Day. Almost as divisive a base as our current political climate. But my favorite reason to celebrate May 4th is that it's my mother's birthday. She'll be 81 years old. I'm blessed with happiness and love. If you're also blessed, I'm Carrie Goebel-Miller. You may know me as Carrie, Carrie Joe, KJ, or even KB one summer. But my favorite handle is Mima.
It felt like you.
I'm autistic. Misunderstood for most of my life, I was called retarded, an idiot, touched, usually by teachers. Can't say that I'm in disagreement, but I am in disagreement with RFK Jr. when he says autism destroys families. I find it to be quite the opposite. Autism has made my family stronger, much stronger, and in many ways it held us together. If you're also in disagreement with RFK Jr., let me hear you say I am. I'm a member of a mixed-race family. I've observed that love does not discern between skin color, eye color, or family heritage. Love's love. I'm a better person for having the family that I have. If you're a better person due to your family's love, let me hear you say I am. I'm a sufferer of an autoimmune disease. My RA brings with it daily pain, decreased mobility, increased fatigue. I've learned to manage it with diet and exercise because the only drug that really has any effect is a chemotherapy drug that can be poison. But I'm blessed to live in a time when so much medical research is at my fingertips. If you're also blessed with knowledge that's available to heal your ails, let me hear you say I am. I'm a transgender woman. I was born biologically male. In an effort to be honest and follow the path I feel has a purpose in my life, I transitioned in 2001. going to be hard. If you're also familiar with taking a path of authenticity in spite of the danger, let me hear you say I am. I'm a former trans athlete. After transition, I played 3 different sports at various competitive levels. And if my body would let me, I'd play still. Without the family I found in those teams, I would still be lost. If you're aware that sports, especially team sports, are so much more than about winning or player ability, if you're also one who sees mental, physical, spiritual, and social merit of sports, especially youth sports, let me hear you say I am. This one's hard. I'm a whore. In my darkest times, feeling outcast and alone, I've reduced myself to performing sex acts for food, shelter, money, drugs, and at my lowest, simple validation. It's not hard to admit due to shame. I'm not ashamed. It's hard to admit because adultery has touched us all, rarely positively. I took part in that, and I deeply regret the trauma that I caused. If you're also familiar with regret from trauma you caused others just by trying to survive, let me hear you say I am. I'm a witch. But Carrie, too, you're always quoting Bible verses. How can you be a Christian? That is a great question, Missy, and I'm glad you asked it.
Are you being bashful?
I believe there's more wisdom in sacred writings of other cultures beyond my spiritual foundation. One of the blessings of my neurodiversity is the instinct and flawless ability to find the good in any situation, in any person. If you're also able to find the good in any person, let me hear you say I am. I'm recovering from several addictions. The darkest and most difficult to tame were emotional, not drugs, although there were certainly drugs present. If you're recovering from addiction, or you've been impacted by an addicted person, let me hear you say I am. I'm a monster. It's like Jekyll and Hyde with me. Like most neurodiverse people, I'm a fountain of love until I am overwhelmed and melt down. Historically, when I melt down, I lash out, attempts to aggressively stop the overwhelming input. I've worked long and hard to talk the talk and walk the walk, and most recently, think the thoughts. That will bring you joy, I promise. If you're aware of how words, actions, and thoughts can heal instead of harm, let me hear you say I am. I'm the enemy, the devil to many an executive power. Nearly every executive order impacts me directly or people I love. And what may feel like a shotgun-style approach for most of you feels like a coordinated drone strike from my shoes. A better devil for MAGA to put their hate on would be pretty hard to come by. But like the tattoo on my arm, the devil you see is a costume painted on by another. But beneath the mask of the devil the president paints on me, you can find me, the actual authentic me, easily if you try. I'm faithful for more reasons than I have time to quote or reference. I believe we're all here for a purpose. I don't care what others think of me. I work toward that purpose. If you are also a person of faith, any faith, let me hear you say I am. I'm loving. I've been on the receiving end of so much bullying, mockery, hatred, and judgment that I don't want anyone to ever feel that from me, although I'm certain I fail. If you are also loving, let me hear you say I am. I'm empathetic. Compassion is the foundation of empathy. I used to think I was an empath, but I've learned that my neurodiversity makes it very easy for me to sense your moods. I'm very sorry for what you're going through. If you're also empathetic, let me hear you say I am. I'm also tired. I'm tired of not knowing if this is the month or the week or the day that I'll be disappeared. Are you? I'm also Tired of the vengeful, obfuscated taxation that President Trump's tariffs put on me? Are you? I'm tired of supporting a political party that couldn't even be bothered to run against MAGA Republicans at all. Are you? Yes. I'm tired of a political party that promises an umbrella of protection to speak out against those who routinely discriminate against me, only to learn that there isn't enough money and there aren't enough votes from trans people to bother defending them. Are you? Are you tired of seeing the conflation of the word adversary and the word enemy? I'm tired of observing words and actions from good people, heated and dripping with hate and judgment. I'm tired physically and I'm tired mentally, but I've never lost my faith in people, in you. All I've ever wanted to be was a mother, inspired throughout life by amazing mothers and the love they share. Mothers like my mom Cheryl, like Deb and Jessica, Leslie, Kim, Nancy, Robin, Paige, Dawn, Malia, and so many others. Mothers whose love strengthens me by even thinking of them and the love that they've given me. But sometimes a mother needs to raise her voice. When there's a danger her children cannot see, she shouts to ensure she has their attention. The two hardest virtues for me to embrace have been patience and forgiveness. Those two are innocuous and easy to overlook, but essential on the path to joy. Yes, we want President Trump removed from office. And it feels like little is being done, but that's because the judicial system is a slow process and it's at work. President Trump has seated Congress with sycophants. So, regarding impeachment, our hands are tied until the next elections in 2026. We can only use our voices. Patience is necessary for us right now. The other virtue was so much harder to embrace. Forgiveness is a bear to fight some days. But forgive I do. Take Mary Miller.
Yes, please take Mary Miller. Take her. Take her.
I can't believe in my heart of hearts that she or others like her ran under Trump's banner with bad intentions. Mary's district is almost all farmers. She's a farmer herself. I'm certain her intention was to help farmers. But she threw in with the king of lies. No, wait, no kings in America. The master of lies, then. If you don't think she's sorry for those choices, I ask you to remember any choice you've made with good intention yet disastrous results. But why is forgiveness necessary, Joe? That's a great question, Heidi, and I'm glad you asked it. While we flex our patience and wait for the next elections, we have an opportunity to win back the hearts and minds of the Mary Millers out there who can change their vote and expedite impeachment. Winning hearts and minds requires forgiveness. Harsh judgment and hatred might sate your own pain, but it declares an enemy instead of an adversary. The president is banking on your hate to give more excuses to escalate his coup. John McClane said it best. If you aren't a part of the problem, you're a part of the solution. Quit being a part of the fucking problem. Words of hate inspire actions of hate. Our adversaries are thirsty. They've been without the water, love, and honesty and caring they need. We have an opportunity to bear water for them. What mother among you wouldn't give water to a thirsty child? But we must be delicate with our care. When a patient who hasn't eaten or drank, been on fluids, is reintroduced to water, it's done very gently and gingerly with a sponge. The nurse drips that water in bit by bit. When you're delivering your water with anger, the forgiveness feels more like a fire hose. We have to be delicate to provide the water they need. I'm ready to stop fighting and start fixing. If you are too, let me hear you say I am. I'm ready to listen, pause, assess, to move forward with positivity. If you are too, let me hear you say I am. I'm finished selecting candidates eager to make enemies out of adversaries. If you are too, let me hear you say I am. I'm ready to find like-minded people to represent me in Congress. If you are too, let me hear you say I am. Thank you, friends. Blessings to you all, especially those adversaries. We need love now more than ever before.
Let's give it up for Carrie! Woo! Okay, let's do some chants. Love, not hate, makes America great. 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 Woo! Trans lives matter. 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 Woo! Hands off Medicare. 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 Woo! Okay, now let's keep this going. We've got Ayla McDonald, the local folk singer. She's going to be teaching and singing People Gonna Rise Like the Water.
Thank you all so much for coming out here today. I just want to take a moment to express gratitude for all of the stories that have been shared so far, and to just acknowledge we're all coming from different walks of life, and we're all connected to each other's stories in this moment. I also want to acknowledge there was mention of lynchings earlier today, and we're currently standing along a road where during the Springfield race riot in 1908, a lynching of a black man who was a citizen of Springfield took place. Let's hold a moment of silence to remember this time.
Specifically called out. That's what I said to her. She told me.
Can I get a hey-o? Can I get a hey-o? People gonna rise like the water. Say it back. We're gonna face this crisis now. We hear the voices of our great-granddaughters crying out, impeach him now. People gonna rise like the water. We're gonna face this crisis now. We hear the voices of our great-granddaughters crying out, impeach him now. People gonna rise like the water. People gonna rise like the water. We're gonna face this crisis now. We're gonna face this crisis now. We hear the voices of our great-granddaughters. We hear the voices of our great-granddaughters calling for impeachment now. Calling for impeachment now. Everybody got it? Yeah? You think we can do it all together? Okay, feel free if you are into harmonies, etc. I hear some drumming and some tambourine shaking over there. That's awesome. All right, ready? Okay. People gonna rise like the water. We're gonna face this crisis now. people gonna rise like the waters. We're gonna face this crisis now. We hear the voices of our great-granddaughters calling for impeachment now. Calling for impeachment now. Calling for impeachment now. Thank you all.
Give it up for Ayla. Okay, another thing that I wanted to remind everybody about, I hope you've already heard about the Stamp Out Hunger food drive that the Postal Service is doing. For Springfield, that's the National Association of Letter Carriers, Branch 80. So that's May 10th, second Saturday of May. Every year, you just got to get some non-perishable foods, put them in a bag by your mailbox, and they'll take it for you. It's a great big food drive. The stuff in Springfield is going to be going to the Central Illinois Food Bank. So next up, we have Susan Phillips. She's a pastor and activist from Springfield. As co-chair of the Illinois Poor People's Campaign, Susan has been working to move the world towards an equitable and just place. She'll be speaking on organizing for liberation from oppression. Give it up for Susan.
Good afternoon, Springfield. Anybody else have a heavy week? So one of the things that we attend to is that this work is not quick, it is not easy, and it's not going to end soon. So I invite you to take a breath. No, really, take a breath. Some of you forgot. And then take another one. And then keep doing that. Okay? I'm grateful for the moments of silence that we have observed. There is a need to hold that space for one another. As one of the commissioners on the Massey Commission, I am also aware and holding space for other people in this community. For Earl Moore Jr., say his name. For Sonia Massey, say her name. I stand here knowing that there are other people that should be with us. And with permission from her family, one of the people I named today is Emma Schaefer. We are here because we love someone and someone else loved us, yes? We are here because we care, yes? We are here because we believe the world can be a better place, yes? We are here because we believe in the work that we can do, yes? We believe that we can make a difference, yes? We believe it's going to take work, yes? Oh good, you're ready, yes? Some of us have been doing this work for a very long time, yes? Some of us have been activists for as long as we can remember, yes? Some of us are brand new to this work, yes? Some of us only started attending demonstrations this spring, yes? Some of us used to demonstrate decades ago and never thought we'd have to be back here again, yes? It makes us weary to think how much heavy lifting there is to do, and yet, look around you! One of the important things I have learned about activism, about social justice, is that we aren't the first ones here. We have got to learn from our ancestors for the sake of our descendants. Other people have been doing this work so much longer than we have. So, I invite you to learn from black folks, yes? Yes! To learn from queer folks, yes? Yes! To learn from women, yes? Yes! To learn from unions, yes? Yes! To learn from immigrants, yes? Yes! To learn from people with disabilities, yes? Yes! To learn from farm workers, I hope you get energized because this is not the work. The work is working with each other. It's organizing, it's mobilizing, it's disrupting the system. It's talking to your electeds. It's unionizing at your places of work. It's demanding fair wages. It's demanding access to health care. It's going to this building and demanding your electeds listen to you. For the sake of your neighbors, yes? And you're going to do something after
Let me
the
get out of
voting
his
is
way.
over, yes? You know what it is, yes? Affordable health care, yes? We also believe we must end the military spending, the military budget, and the idea that violence is never the answer. And we work to counter the false moral narrative of religious nationalism that says some of us are closer to God than anybody else. It's just wrong. Yes?
What if we remove God?
One of the responses, called responses to the People's Campaign is forward together, and the response is not one step back. Oh, I love y'all. So we have some demands. We demand safe food, clean water, and clean air. Forward together. We demand equal access to education and health care. Forward together. We demand fair laws. Forward together. We demand representation for all people. Forward together. We demand a sustainable environment.
18-year-old youth activist and former Illinois mental health policy chair will speak on the youth perspective and the importance of youth organizing.
Good afternoon, Illinois. My name is Aiden Tarek. I am from Mattoon, Illinois, proudly a town of 16,000 in Mary Miller's congressional district. I feel the same. I am a proud activist, policy writer, campaigner, but most importantly, I am a high school senior. I am part of a generation that refuses to accept the broken promises of our past. We are all here today because we refuse to be silent. We refuse to sit by while our rights are being stripped away, while voices are silenced, and billionaires like Trump and Elon Musk run our country like it's some twisted dystopian experiment. I grew up watching the first Trump administration as a kid. When I first started to grasp the concept of politics, I watched them weaponize hatred and division. I grew up watching our leaders treat cruelty like a badge of honor. And now, under Trump, Vance, and Musk's so-called administration, we're seeing our institutions treated like commodities, bought, sold, and destroyed at the expense of real people, real futures, and real hope. The buying and selling of our lives and our dreams, of my family's dreams, as I watched my dad's government job be threatened, as I watched my college future be threatened. I didn't just watch, I fought. I entered politics not because it was easy, but because it became necessary. In 2024, I became the youngest policy writer in the state of Illinois, working for Juliana Stratton. I worked to make sure that young people, like many of you here in the crowd, had a seat at the table. But I don't want to be recognized as an outlier. I want to see youth shaping politics. I want to see youth defying the odds. I want to see youth at events here today. Because if we don't fight for ourselves, who will? All of us here today, especially all of the young people, I am so proud of you. I am so incredibly proud of you. We are not the future. And I'll say that again, we are not the future. We are right here. We are the present. We are the emergency brake on a runaway system. And when I talk to my peers, I don't see a generation that is lazy or lost. I see a generation that is fed up and fired up. I see people from all political political sides, recognizing that what is happening right now is a king-like injustice to the seat of American democracy. I see young people that understand freedom is not just a word thrown around in our speeches. It is a promise that all of us intend to keep. And let me be crystal clear, we're not asking for permission. No, we are claiming our power. We are demanding our dignity. And we are making it absolutely impossible for anybody, Trump, us, or anyone, to ignore us. They sow culture wars to keep us divided. They level their attacks one after another to keep us cynical. They restrict workers' rights and unions during May Day to keep us tired. But what they're going to get, what they're seeing, what they're so scared of, is a movement stronger than anything they have ever faced before. When my generation and your generation and your generation and your generation and your generation get together, we become an unstoppable force. So guess what? Our turn is now. They have attacked my college scholarships, my rights, my free speech, and to my friends, to my Generation Z and Generation Alpha peers out there, I know you're scared. I feel it. They seem so incredibly insurmountable. But it's up to us to build bridges and to show up. The only way out is through. And so we're coming to build. We're coming to unite, and we're coming to win. Our hope isn't naive. It is built with the strength of all of us here today. Because when young people organize, when young people mobilize, we don't just change elections, we change history. And so if you know any youth, encourage them to stand up. I want you to mentor them. I want you to take the steps to grow youth participation. Take them here, to this building, to the halls of power. So I ask you, the questions that I've asked in every speech as we felt this despair. Will you rise with me? Will you rise for justice? Will you rise for our communities? Will you rise for my generation? Will you rise for each other? Because I swear to you, I will never stop rising. And if we rise together, they don't stand a chance. Stay proud and stay powerful. The future is ours and it starts right here and right now. Thank you all so very much.
Hey, thank you, Aiden.
Thank you so much for coming.
Okay, next up we have Richard Gilman Okolsky, an author, activist, and professor of political philosophy who will speak on the necessity of resistance at the present moment.
Hey, good afternoon. Good afternoon, brothers and sisters, friends, comrades. A lot of great stuff being talked about here this afternoon, and it's really great to see everybody. That's right. So this current regime, Trump and Musk and their friends, they're going hard against dissent and protest and difference. Let's consider dissent. Reporters who challenged Trump are scolded by Trump's press secretary, Caroline Leavitt. She says that she regrets asking anyone who asks her tough questions to speak. Trump's critics are attacked as Marxists, even though few of them are. But we should pay attention to the fact that a new Red Scare is underway. It's real, and it's not being talked about enough. And it matters. Whatever you think about vilifying Marxists and communists, the professors at my university don't talk about Marx and communism as much as this administration has their mouth full of Marxism and communism. just like Mussolini did. We have to know our history. You have to know that the origins of fascism as a political movement in the early 20th century was born in anti-communism. So when you hear it, you have to know what it means. You have to know its place in history. So those of us who criticize a system that equates wealth with power, which allows the richest men on earth to decide what public services to shut down, we're treated like the enemy within, to be purged, fired, jailed, deported. Now let's consider protest. Much has been said about the vulnerability of immigrants, like Mahmoud Khalil. And we focus on the scandal of his being detained for doing nothing illegal while his wife gave birth to their first child alone. But we shouldn't forget that Khalil was a leader of student protests at Columbia University's Gaza Solidarity Encampment, and that he was singled out because of his role in that protest activity. Protest is under attack. What we are doing is under attack.
That's adorable.
Consider difference. Queer people, LGBTQ, especially trans people, already among the most vulnerable people in our society, are now more threatened than ever. So these are the facts that we know. These are the facts that we know, but let's think about them from a different point of view. Here's a different point of view. That's what I'm really here for. Why would the ruling class of this country spend so much time putting down dissidents, protests, and difference? Why are we in higher education being targeted for what we teach? Why are leaders in protest movements being detained and deported? Why are books about gender and sexuality and critical race theory considered so dangerous? The answer to these questions, that's what I'm here to talk about. It's because the ruling class goes after what it's afraid of. The ruling class always goes after what threatens it. The ruling class goes after what scares it. And many here, and many more who are not here.
Thanks for coming.
We are scared. A lot of us are scared. The ruling class is scary. It is scaring us. But that is because it is scared of us. If it wasn't, it would just leave us alone in our dissidence, our protest, and our difference. But it's not leaving us alone. Because we are a real threat in their eyes. And that is the good news. It's not all bad news. That is the good news. That means that we have more power than it may seem. It means that we have more power than it often feels that we have. It means that we need to keep on going and doing the things that this administration is trying to stop us from doing. Every ruling class in history tries to stop what threatens it. That's what they do. But there is a long global history of ruling classes that were challenged and broken by everyday people who rose up against them. And that is the past. I see this gathering. I try to keep my optimism in check, but at the same time, I let it go a little bit too. I let my optimism go a little bit too, because I know enough history to know that we cannot count us out. come? It's only been 4 months since the inauguration. Too long! But nothing is finished yet. We're not finished. We're not done. And we mustn't stop doing the things they want to scare us away from doing. The greatest gift we could give to these neo-fascists and white supremacist capitalist oligarchs is to give them what they want. They're telling us what they want. They're telling us what they want, and we will not give it to them. So we just have to keep on going. We go with love and solidarity and hope. Yes, hope. Hope in the rain. Hope in the rain. Hope through the rain.
Thank you, guys.
If we can't hope through the rain, that's more bad news. I do have hope, and let me tell you where it comes from. It comes from us. From every rally and protest, from so many diverse acts of resistance. That is where my hope grows, and I like that idea. That idea of growing hope. I love the idea of growing hope. And that's why I always loved the line that originated in Greek poetry in 1978. A queer poet, Dinos Christopoulos. A line that was later popularized in indigenous protest movements in Mexico. In the 1990s, the famous line, they tried to bury us. They did not know we were seeds.
I got a picture because it was my
And rain is very good news for seeds being planted. Love and solidarity.
Give it up for Professor Kopolsky! Water over there for inside your body as well. And snacks, all free. There's some chairs if anybody needs to sit down. We have handouts, more handouts at the table over by the butchers over there as well. And then next, we have... Oh, yes. We have Gretchen Barron singing This Is Land Is Your Land and Blowing in the Wind.
Should be blowing in the rain, huh? We stand here today in the shadow of this capital moment. We've been called for such a time as this. I saw an interview last night with Laura Torrance. She was ridiculing the singers at the Capitol protest on Thursday. So Springfield, let's show Laura how it's done. I've never played the auto box. Here we go.
Springfield immigrant activist actually the how many roads must a man walk down before you can call him a man? And how many seas must a white dove sail before she sinks in the sand?
That's what I keep telling people.
And how many times must a cannon go by campaign is really good before the forever band? How many times must we be supposed to go to the diehards before they can see the sky?
For too many people have died. The answer, my friend, is blowing in the wind. The answer is blowing in the wind. How many years can a mountain exist before it's washed to the sea? And how many years can some people exist before they'll know?
Second Street, sign is on to cross. Second Street, Second Street, sign is on to cross.
Doesn't see the answer.
Who's that? Yes.
Oh,
Nice to see you. Thanks. Your name again? Tiffany. I'm all over it. I'm always saying stuff that irritates me.
And if he saw how people were
I looked right at my raincoat and I thought, I don't need that.
And how he played out in the real lives of people. And as he walked and organized and talked with everyone, he was writing this great song, a song that's going to take you with every people's protest since. This land is our land.